Why is it that sometimes the law of attraction doesn't work? And if it doesn't work sometimes, doesn't that mean it's really not a law? Hi, Mark Gilbert here, and in this video, what I'm going to do is briefly review some of the major criticisms of the law of attraction. It's my belief that a lot of the criticism comes from people who don't really understand what the law is and how it works. Now, for a review of the law itself, the basics, I'd encourage you to watch the video, What is the Law of Attraction? And I'd also encourage you to watch the one on changing your limiting beliefs, which takes it a step deeper. Now, I've written often as to the major reasons why I see that people don't get what they consciously think about. And that very fact itself, when somebody doesn't get what they think about, is why people think it doesn't work. But what I want to do here is offer 4 reasons why what you may be getting is not what you're desiring. And the first one and most obvious one is that we're having inconsistent conscious thoughts. We think one thing and then we think another. Consider someone who's testing this law of attraction and they affirm over and over and over again they're going to get $1 million by a certain date. But if they follow that thought up with another conscious thought that says, yeah, right, that's never going to happen, then they've got inconsistent thoughts. And those inconsistent thoughts are going to lead to inconsistent results. In fact, this is often what's happening when we're not even consciously using the law. The law is always responding to our thoughts. But in most cases, we don't consistently believe the same thing. We're usually in some sort of state of argument with ourselves about what it is we want and what we see. We can't just read an affirmation once a day and then live our life in conflict with that statement. You must consciously root out any beliefs that are disagreeing with what you desire. If you catch yourself being negative, simply say or think to yourself, cancel that thought or cancel that statement and replace it with your affirmation as to what you desire. The second reason why many people don't get the results they want is that they must not only think something consistently, but they got to act and speak in a manner that's in alignment with what they're thinking. You know, we can affirm and affirm and affirm until we're blue in the face. But if we're acting in a manner that's inconsistent with our affirmations, then we're not going to see the desired outcome. You know, for example, if you're thinking and affirming that a new and wonderful relationship is flowing into your life, yet you stay home and you never put yourself out there where you can be open to being a friend to others and meeting other people, then you're never going to see the manifestation of those relationships. And they may be waiting for you. You know, there's an old joke that says, you can affirm to win the lottery all you want, but for that desire to manifest, you got to first buy a ticket. So direct your thinking towards what you want, but also couple it with right action. Now, those first 2 reasons may be somewhat easy to understand, but the third one is a bit more subtle. This reason as to why we may not see a manifestation of our conscious thoughts is because our subconscious thoughts and patterns may be undermining our conscious thoughts. It is our conscious awareness that we're using when we're trying to employ the law of attraction through our affirmations or vision boards and so on. However, we often may not realize that our subconscious thoughts may differ from our conscious ones. You know, this is the main issue I was trying to address in my video on changing your limiting beliefs. You see, we have developed patterns of thinking throughout our lives that have become so ingrained that we often don't realize they exist. These thoughts are below the level of our awareness, and they're generally the source of our beliefs, they generate our habits, and they're frequently the source of much of our emotions. So simply stated, if we're consciously thinking one thing, but subconsciously believing another, then we're not going to see the desires of our conscious thoughts manifest. So the questions might be, where do these subconscious thoughts come from? Well, there's 2 major sources. One, when we consciously think something, it goes into our subconscious. If we've thought for 20 years we're not worthy of being wealthy or having the right job or the right relationship, and then we start consciously trying to change our thoughts on the topic, it may take a good long time for our new conscious thoughts to say that we're worthy to outweigh the many years of our subconscious believing that we weren't. The second major source of our subconscious thoughts comes from the collective thinking of our culture and the world around us. Our personal subconscious is full of all of the history of the collective unconscious as well. If hundreds of years humans have believed something that was not possible, That subconscious belief has a lot of power over us, no matter how much we try to break free from it. The bottom line is our subconscious thoughts may still be outweighing our new conscious choice. Now, the fourth big reason why people frequently experience evidence that the law of attraction doesn't work relates to what I consider a misunderstanding of the idea of mind and what it is. You know, our common cultural belief is that mind is something that comes from our personal brains, and that the power being tapped by the law of attraction is our controlling our personal use of this mind. You know, in my opinion, this is one of the biggest misconceptions regarding the law of attraction and the power of our thoughts. Those who confuse this point frequently ask a variation of this, what I call the dueling minds question. If one person's thinking one thing and another person's thinking another thing, and the two thoughts are in conflict, whose thought's going to win? Here's a quick example to see what I'm getting at. Let's imagine two drivers are approaching the same intersection from different directions, and they're on a collision course, and both are affirming that the light will be green for them when they get to the intersection. Which one of them gets the green light? Okay, when you pose such a question, and a person asks that question like that, it has an underlying assumption that there's two different minds thinking opposing thoughts. So they see a conflict. What's not considered is that in reality, there's only one mind, and there's two individual expressions using it. Now, to understand this concept, you may want to review the video I did on the science of mind. We talk about it there. Yes, the two drivers are aware only of their individual thoughts, but at this level of big mind, there's a greater awareness and a higher intention going on. At the individual level, it may appear that one person won and one person lost. One person got a green light and the other one got a red light. But at the higher collective consciousness level, we see there are no winners or losers. At this higher level, there is an outcome that's in alignment with a greater need that transcends the individual smaller mind's desires. It's this greater collective consciousness intention that serves the greater needs of the all. And that's what was collapsed down in the infinite possibilities down into the manifest experience. In some cases, the greater need may be served by giving one of the drivers a green light. In other cases, the greater need may be served by allowing the lights to operate on their programmed sequence. There may be some other reason driving the outcome, pardon the pun. But no matter what manifests in such situations, we have to assume that the intentions of higher big mind were served. So there you are, 4 reasons that the law may not appear to work, and you might be able to think of others. However, I realize there are still people out there with a materialistic viewpoint of the universe, the orange worldview of spiral dynamics, who have a hard time believing in any spiritual mental law not rooted in physical external explanation. I just want to say, that's okay if this doesn't seem real to you. You don't have to believe in the law of attraction. You know, one of my other beliefs is that we all have a free will to make our own choices, and you're free to believe in whatever you want. Yeah, there's a bit of irony that if you think that the law of attraction doesn't work, that's the experience the law will bring you, evidence that it's not valid. However, what I would ask is that if you at least acknowledge that thoughts, which are somewhat non-physical, in my opinion, can lead to material world action. If you think about raising your right arm, you raise your right arm. After you finish watching this video, you'll make some choice as to what you're going to do next, and then you'll create that experience. Most, if not all, of our accomplishments in life began with first thinking about them. My point is that so many actions that we experience every day in the material world can be traced back to some conscious choices in the non-physical world of thought that directed them. So in that level, thoughts do have creative power. Till next time.